Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to WWW. What a week in wrestling. News, reviews, a look forward to pay-per-views, and a collector's corner featuring an update in the shelves that made me. Start off with the news. The Rock has bought XFL. Obviously, he sees something. The newer version did seem like it had more than the older version. What will he do with it? Time will tell. Sammy Guevara's chair shot on AEW Dynamite. Bit of a liability here. He picked up the wrong chair because he panicked and just absolutely rocketed at Matt Hardy's head, causing Matt Hardy to have 13 stitches. Needs to watch himself. Tyson Kidd has been rumoured for a comeback. Natalia posted a video sequence of him running the ropes. Great technical wrestler. Is it too late, or will he make a comeback from his injury? Rachel Ellering, former NXT prodigy, I like to say, is making her AEW Dark appearance this week. Look out for that. And Retribution have debuted on Raw, kind of causing a little bit of a fire outside, and on Smackdown in a very Nexus-orientated angle, having a go at the commentators, destroying things, and leaving their mark. The rumour mill has started. Who is going to be in Retribution? I think that somebody who's been fired should be the leader or come back as part of Retribution. It would make complete sense. Also, I'm sure I recognise Dominik Dijakovic's voice on Raw, and I'm sure I recognise Vanessa Bourne's hair on SmackDown. But they will be leading some kind of spoilers, and they're probably not going to be the same people as are originally under these masks when it comes out. Let's kick off with Raw. A new underground angle with a very overexcited Shane McMahon started. We'll see how that goes. Kind of shoot fights going on, almost like a Fight Club film type of thing. Results. Apollo Crews defeated MVP and had some photos then taken with his new US title, so looks like they'll be using that one going forward. I think it's quite nice. The Riot Squad reunited to defeat the Iconics. Akira Tozawa is your new 24/7 champion, defeating Shelton Benjamin and R-Truth. Sasha Banks and Shayna Baszler drew in another one of those why did the match end because two other people were fighting outside the ring type of things. I don't know, WWE seem to like that at the moment. Angel Garza defeated Angelo Dawkins in build-up for their SummerSlam tag team matchup, and Montez Ford in a weird angle which I thought was going to go down the concussion route, but luckily went down the kind of has he been poisoned by Andrade, Angel Garza and Zelina Vega route. He kept collapsing in his match. NXT, quick note on how good Santos Escobar is on the mic. Really look forward to his microphone segments. Real star for the future, definitely. Dexter Lumis has been removed from the North American ladder match at Takeover because of injury. We'll get onto that in a little bit when we look at the pay-per-views. Bronson Reed defeated Shane Thorne. Shane Thorne looked highly impressive in that match, but it did its job to show Reed as a kind of real contender for that North American title. Dakota Kai defeated Rhea Ripley thanks to Mercedes Martinez interference. Made complete sense. Kai's the number one contender. Ripley now has a new feud. Keith Lee defeated Cameron Grimes in what really looked like a monster appearance for Keith Lee. Really nice to see. Damian Priest is in the North American title ladder match, defeating Ridge Holland and Oni Lorcan in the match of the night. Really good match. Get it checked out. Tegan Nox defeated Indy Hartwell. Tegan Nox seems to have lost quite a lot of pace since she came back from injury, so looking forward to her really getting on a roll again. And Imperium defeated Undisputed Era to retain their tag team titles. But it wasn't really about them. It was about Pat McAfee and Adam Cole. It's becoming blatantly obvious now that it was a bit of a work and it was supposed to happen on Pat McAfee's show, which actually shows how good an actor Pat McAfee is. Andy's had some wrestling training, so it's not your usual kind of actor or personality comes in. He actually might be able to produce a match, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing where that goes. He punted Adam Cole into unconsciousness at the end of the match. Smackdown keeps climbing in the ratings. Good for WWE. Bad for the actual event. It was a mess. It was a real interference Smackdown. Riddle against Sheamus, disqualification because Shorty G interfered. Jeff Hardy against King Corbin, disqualification because Sheamus appeared. Sheamus against Corbin, Matt Riddle interfered. Miz and Morrison against Heavy Machinery. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville interfered. The only match which really didn't have interference in it was Cesaro against Lince Dorado to build their feud for the Smackdown tag team titles. And obviously at the end, the Retribution angle happened. AEW Dynamite kicked off with a 12-man tag team match. Dark Order defeated FTR, the Young Bucks, and Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. Best Friends then defeated Santana and Ortiz. I have no idea what AEW are doing with both these tag teams. It looked like Best Friends were going to have a little bit of a lull after their loss for the tag team titles, but now they keep winning again. And as for Santana and Ortiz, they're just being made to look silly in every angle. They're supposed to be this big, powerful Mexican tag team. They're just being made to look silly. Sort it out, AEW. Get Santana and Ortiz at least something. Cody and Matt Cardona defeated Dark Order's Alex Reynolds and John Silver. I'm probably going to upset people here by not talking about Cody and Matt Cardona here. John Silver and Alex Reynolds looked amazing in that match. They had a really good match on Dark the week before, which is probably how they earned that match. And their sequences as a tag team were amazing. If you haven't seen that match, watch it just for the sequences that Silver and Reynolds do. Really looking forward to seeing what those two can do in the tag team division in the future. Big Swole defeated Reba, the former Rebel of TNA fame. The commentators just kept saying that she hadn't wrestled for a few years, but she acted like she didn't even know how to walk. Again, third week in a row, another really poor AEW women's division match. You might as well watch Dark for the women's division because nothing's happening on Dynamite. Again, AEW, sort it out. And in the main event, Jon Moxley against Darby Allin. It was a good match. Darby Allin again played exactly the same role as he is, the underdog. Jon Moxley has lots of respect for him at the end, but Darby Allin needs to pick up a big win at some point, otherwise the fans are going to turn off. Okay, look forward to the pay-per-views now. NXT Takeover, North American title match. It's all a bit mishmash at the moment. Bronson Reed and Damian Priest are guaranteed. There's a match next week between Cameron Grimes, Kushida, and I'm not sure who the third man is. It might even be a mystery man. So whoever wins that match. And then the 4 losing people from the previous matches who didn't get defeated, pinned or tapped out will be in 2 separate singles matches to decide which other 2 are going through. I would imagine it will be Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano. Io Shirai will face off against Dakota Kai for the NXT Women's title, and Adam Cole will face Pat McAfee. SummerSlam, we've got 5, maybe 6 matches on the card now. Street Profits take on Andrade and Angel Garza. Drew McIntyre against Randy Orton, not Mandy Orton, in a great 50-50 match. I've no idea who's going to win that match. It'll be really good to watch. Apollo Crews will take on MVP for the US title. I would expect that to somehow change to Lashley before SummerSlam. It doesn't make sense in those 2 fighting again. Dominic Mysterio will face Seth Rollins. Very intriguing to see how Dominic does in his first big match. And Bayley will face the winner of an interbrand battle royal that's happening on SmackDown next week. Sasha Banks will also be defending her title. As Stephanie McMahon said, we don't know who against yet. Okay, stars of the moment. Stars of the week this week, a 4-way tie. Akira Tozawa, Bronson Reed, Colt Cabana and Alan Angels, or 5 from Dark Order. They had the best points per price ratio in the Fantasy Wrestling League. Over 4 weeks, it's still Sasha Banks. She had a draw this week with Shayna Baszler, but did enough in her previous weeks to hold that. And Stars of the Year, no change. WWE, Drew McIntyre, and AEW Cody. Collector's Corner now. I've picked up a few older Elites that I've not had in my collection before, so I'll just show you those first. We've got Sir Bob of Backlund in the robe, kind of from his 1994 comeback, where he won the WWF title and then lost it to Diesel in 8 seconds, I think. Really good figure, kind of a collector's edition, but you can pick up quite a lot of them now. James Ellsworth. I've not had this one MOC before, so that's a nice one to have. A lot of customizers use that body for the smaller people. My favourite wrestler, if you've been watching week by week, you'll know that it's not. But I quite like this figure. I think they've nailed all three heads on this figure for Nia Jax. The only elite to come with three heads. Correct me if I'm wrong in the notes. And the final one is from the kind of Attitude Era, one of Mick Foley's three faces, Dude Love. Lovely little figure, pun intended. Okay, the very last segment this week will be a look at the shelves that made me and a bit of a quick update with a couple of new figures in it. Just a bit of a shout out to John Turson, who won the Aleister Black competition that we've been running over the past few weeks. So he bagged himself a Mattel Elite Aleister Black. Well done, John. Now, let's get to these shelves and let's have a look at the update. So, no changes on the top shelf at the moment. So this is your kind of 1985 to 1988 era. But if you look at the next shelf along, we have now got classy Freddie Blassie, who has been paired up with the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. If we come down to kind of more the 1988 to 1991 era, you will notice the Chase Greg the Hammer Valentine. I've been waiting for a Greg Valentine for many, many moons. He is mine now. Boris Zukov looking a little bit lonely up there now without his partner Nikolai. If we come down even further, I don't think we've got any new ones on the shelf. And then if we come up to the kind of 1992, 1993, 1994 era, no new ones on that one. And come down to the one that I previously showed you, and we have a new addition. I finally picked myself up a Doink. You can see him with Little Dink in the background there. The next installment of the shelves that made me will look at the kind of 1998 to 1999 WWF era. Quick look there. Okay, that's it for this week. You have been watching WWW. What a Week in Wrestling. We are going to be doing a new podcast segment on YouTube discussing figures in various ways and forms with a couple of my good buddies. So I hope you will tune in for that as well. Thank you very much for watching. See you next week.